raisins inside of apples seem more insane now than ever because kids now, like, they don't even know what fruit is. But like when I was little, bobbing for apples was a game that we played during the fall. But I feel like they don't even do that anymore because of like saliva and COVID and spreading disease and all that stuff. Yeah.
COVID took that away from us.
Put my face in a barrel of apples right now. I would never do that. And I'm gross.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I'm Kaveh Taherian.
And I'm Hannah Hillam. And today we're joined by none other than our editor and friend, Alyssa
and
Cooper.
Illustrator. I talked over her name, but she's an illustrator and a talented artist. Wow. I love how you're just trying to undermine all of Alyssa's accomplishments as usual.
I have no accomplishments. Thank you.
You have the only real job between the three of us, dude.
It's true.
Nah.
You have health insurance.
Well, listen, it doesn't do much, so don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the show, Alyssa.
Thank you.
We are
Thanks
excited to have you here for the spookiest episode of the year, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But we thought we needed reinforcements of Halloween fun, ghosty, whatever stuff.
And you are a queen of Halloween in my book.
The big guns, yeah, exactly.
I do love Halloween. When you guys asked if I wanted to do this as a guest episode, I was like, yes.
Naturally.
Am I allowed to be on the Halloween episode?
Yes.
I'm so excited.
We forgot that we had not the three of us recorded since last year because last year I recorded an episode when Hannah was too cool on her book tour and being better than us and big timing us. And then this year when I had to move because I'm a working class person who had to find cheaper rent, that's when Alyssa was able to step in. But rich book author Hannah Hillam was able to fill in some time just in her busy schedule of talking about white bread with nothing on it and beans on toast. So we realized that, in our memories, this lives forever because we talk all the time. So we just assumed that we had done an episode together. Yes,
that you are co-hosting with New York Times worst-selling author Hannah Hillam.
I've never been so honored
in my
life.
Ranked on nothing. Yeah, of course not.
Hey, listen, you ranked number 0 in our hearts and hearts across the hearts of all of our tens of listeners.
I would be disgusted if I had ranked any other. Okay? I'd be like, ew, stop respecting me.
Too mainstream to be on the list anyways. So,
did I tell you that we were in the car the other day and my mother-in-law was here and she was listening to our ADHD episode.
Oh, no.
And Sean was listening in the car too. He's like, so it was like the first episode he'd really ever listened to. And I was like, what'd you think? And he was like,
90 episodes in.
No. He was like, you have an amazing editor.
Oh, and I was like, so nice.
What does that mean?
You took it immediately as an attack.
Of course. But I was like, no, we really do. He was like, she's so, because he knows what I sound like when I ramble and, stumble. And he's like, there was none of that. I'm like, great.
No, I got you guys.
Speaking of stumbling, I think that we have a bit of a fun story to tell our audience this week because we just got back from New York and we've recovered a little bit. And Hannah, I believe you have some, what did you say? You had some afterbirth after this whole escalator incident that happened. What was it that you were saying?
Never said afterbirth. Aftermath. It took me like maybe a week longer than you to recover because I was physically wounded from falling down an escalator. So at the airport, look, he's laughing again. So let me set the scene, okay? The three of us, Kaveh, his wife Sarah, and me, were. By the way,
I'm glad you were okay. By the way,
oh yeah, he's. It's still funny. We were at the airport, and I'd already been like so angry and sweaty from carrying my bags on the subway because I'm too cheap to get $100 Uber, as is everyone should be. That's outrageous.
That's too much.
Insane.
I'm ticked off. I'm sweaty. I'm like at the end of my rope and we get on this escalator and Sarah's above me. I'm right there and then Kaveh's right below me and we're going up. And I don't know what happened, but before I knew it, I was laying on my stomach pointing down. Like
Superman style. You were just
like Superman-ing.
You had both hands out. I don't know how both of your hands went out.
All I remember is at one point I was looking up at Sarah and I was like, whoa, what's happening? And I grabbed onto the thing and then I was grabbing onto your leg, Kaveh, and I kept telling you that it was all okay.
No, you were like, I was like, I got you. You're okay. And then you're like, am I okay? Okay, you got me. It's okay. And then you said my favorite thing that anyone's ever said in the middle of something like that. And you just said, this This is the worst possible thing that could have happened to me. As you literally said it as you're sliding down the escalator, like you were like going across ice, like on a skating rink of some sort. You were like, I was like, you're narrating your experience of falling down the escalator in real time.
Apparently, I calmly narrate experiences that I have.
I need to know, how crowded was this escalator?
Okay. It was
filled
just
with
us.
bags, I'll tell you that much. A bunch of bags falling down.
No, I just remember at one point I was pointing down and I had my arm, I was like grabbing Kaveh's foot or leg, trying to hold myself up, and he's trying to grab me with one hand
Classic
and a
Hannah,
suitcase in the
dragging
other.
me down with her to the depths of failure.
You're coming down on this.
I finally got him. I almost got him. So close. But then I watch him. He's like, oh, I'm not able to get up very easily with one of his hands helping me. And so he drops his suitcase and I watch it just like bounce down the rest of the escalator. And then apparently I'm sitting. Like, you get me to be sitting and you're like, get up, because we're at the very top. You're like, get up.
Oh, right, because it kept going, and I was like, you're gonna get trapped. I was like, because it's that childhood training of like,
fear.
You're gonna get eaten by the escalator. I was like, what are you doing? This is not the time for you to relax
how you die.
and like, recuperate.
And Sarah was like heaving my 50-pound suitcase up and crying, laughing.
No.
Yeah.
I will say this. There was a second where we were all like, oh my God, we just avoided narrow death. And you were about to start crying because it was terrible.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
before
awful.
anything could happen,
that was
Sarah just started
thing.
crying, laughing. And then it just broke the tension. Then we all started laughing to a point where like I could not breathe. I was laughing so hard.
Oh my God.
Kaveh
Amazing.
was like crying. But yeah, Sarah was like almost, anyway, it hurt.
Yeah. Okay, so what was the afterbirth?
So aftermath. The afterbirth of this whole experience was, well, first of all, we get to the top of the next escalator or wherever we went, and Kaveh was like, look! And it was a sign that said, like, be careful, don't fall down the escalator.
It was like an image of somebody who had just
toppling.
It was too late. We should have known that before we got on the escalator, not after we went up it. You're that city of New York. You need to put Mom Donnie. If you do get elected mayor, you need to put more of those signs, but at the bottom of the escalator when you first enter, not just on the top.
It is weird that it's only at the top.
Yeah,
it was strange.
As if I couldn't fall up an escalator.
Yeah.
You don't know me. No one knows what I am capable of. Mom Donnie. Wow. Anyway, New York was great. Thanks for coming to the booth, everybody.
Thank you. That's our fun, spooky, horror-filled update of Hannah being all bloody and injured. Don't beware the New York City escalator on the way to the AirTran as you connect to JFK.
Ooh. The ghost of my knees?
They're dead.
They kind of are. I couldn't kneel down
that's just
for like
called being
week.
over 35. We've all got ghosts of where our knees used to be at this point.
That's true.
Well, again, welcome, Alyssa.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Since you're a guest, that means that you go first this week.
Okay. Pretty nervous
spooky?
about this one. Yeah, let's
get spooky, dude.
Let's get spooky.
You're nervous about somebody who live narrated their fall down an escalator?
Yeah, that's a lot to live up to. Okay. So, my tab today. I'm going to begin.
Okay.
Okay, this story has everything. It has an isolated farmhouse on the Isle of Man.
Oh, I love the Isle of Man.
Where's
I
the
thought
Isle
you
of
might.
Man?
It's a little like island between mainland UK and Ireland. Is that right?
Yeah, it's between Ireland and Wales, and it's this tiny little like island that has these like ancient Celtic people who still live there. Anyway,
I knew this was gonna annoy you because it's kind of British, but they're not
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Yeah,
and also
Hannah.
They're Celts. They were also oppressed by the British.
Yeah,
They're like us.
They are their own entity.
As long as they hate
like
the
us.
English, that's all that matters.
They do.
They do. I
Okay,
think.
They
good.
love cars. You know those big car races that you see on like the British guys talking or whatever?
Like F1?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about. The car races. You gotta
There's
be
a
more
bunch of
specific.
car
Like
races.
NASCAR?
The Isle of Man is known for the car races. And oh my goodness, Alyssa, I think I know what you're doing. Continue.
Oh no.
No. Do it. I'm excited.
Okay. There's pranks. There's psychoanalysts. There is a dead mongoose.
Oh!
Do you know it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But this is all I want to hear. This is what I want to hear.
All right. So I am getting ahead of myself.
Yes. Okay.
Setting the scene. It is 1917. We have a newly married couple, James and Margaret Irving, and they move into Dorlish Cashin, which is the name of this remote farmhouse on the Isle of Man. And there's no one around. Like it is very remote. And this is what they wanted. They wanted to be alone, I guess. And this sounds like the setup to every scary movie.
Yeah.
But they do have like a few years of peace where nothing happens, nothing weird happens.
Good.
They have a daughter. Her name is Vori.
Vori?
Vori?
I looked up how to say it. It's Voirrey.
Oh, yeah.
So rhymes with Lori. Vori.
Cool. What's up, Vori?
Lori Vori.
We're going to fast forward to fall of 1931.
Okay.
And the family starts to hear weird tapping sounds and growls coming from the attic.
Oh, no.
So what
Is this a tap dancing story?
Oh, my God. It was me the whole time.
The ghost of Alyssa Cooper was in the attic preparing for her recital.
You're like, surprise, I'm 100-year-old Manx ghost.
Yeah.
This is how I'm coming out.
The ghost closet.
The ghost closet. No, the ghost attic. So the first thing you should do when you hear weird noises that you can't explain in the middle of nowhere is go check out what that is.
I agree. Because it's probably not real.
Okay, maybe they haven't seen enough slasher movies at this point. James decides, I'm going to go investigate. I'm going to go see what this is. And he hears the growls, and he says that they are these gurgling sounds. It sounds like a baby's trying to learn to talk. That sounds like every baby I've met.
Is that what you said, Hannah's
oi, mate?
Oi, mate. Oh, man, break, ain't it?
Okay, so James' first instinct upon hearing the gurgling is like, all right, it's a baby trying to learn to talk. I should go teach it how to speak English.
Racist. Why wouldn't it teach him Spanish?
Or
Mandarin? Or
that's a fair point.
I don't know that James, some other language, yeah.
I don't know that he knows any other languages.
Wow.
But he's going to try to teach this entity what he knows. And he starts like problematic. Cancels James Irving.
This is how Alyssa learned to speak English.
Yes.
Wait, sorry. The first thing he does is, I'm going to teach whatever is gurgling how to speak English.
Yeah.
Bonkers. Okay.
It's a wild reaction. Not.
Yes.
I can't see what this is. I don't know what it is. I know that there's sounds. We're going to teach it to communicate with us.
That's very open-minded, though. I like that.
You know, yeah. Kind of, though, right? He's like, maybe it's nice. I don't know. So he starts parroting words over and over so that their new guest can communicate with them. And this works. And so they learn that their guest, his name is Jeff.
Jeff. All right.
Is it
Jeff.
Is it Jeff or G? Oh, it's the G kind.
It's GEF. That's it.
GEF. Okay,
like GIF?
It's
GIF.
I think it's GIF, not GIF. It's GIF, not Jeff. Okay, so we got Jeff in the attic.
So
Jeff.
It's Jeff.
Jeff.
And he was born in Delhi, India on June 7th, 1852.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay.
This is what he tells
This
James.
is like 70 years ago.
Yeah. And then kind of the strangest part is that Jeff says, I'm not a person. I am the ghost of a mongoose.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Jeff's a mongoose.
Jeff's a mongoose.
Nice.
It's pretty cute. What is he doing there?
So what is he doing here? He kind of takes up residence with the Irvings for a while. And the Irvings say that he is a prankster. He says some really odd things to them. He likes to sing. He moves in the walls. They hear scratching in the walls.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that Jeff does. So he has some very strange quotes, which I'll read to you.
Okay.
One, and I shall haunt you with weird noises and clinking chains.
Okay. Jeff, you don't have opposable thumbs. How are you holding your chains?
Listen, as long as you're not chewing with your mouth open or talking on speakerphone, I think I can handle Jeff in my walls.
You can live here.
This is true. Yeah. He says, I am a freak.
We all are.
Which who isn't?
Relatable.
Welcome to the club. Yeah.
And the guy who taught a disembodied voice how to speak English isn't a freak?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He taught him how to say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the logic. And he says, I have hands and I have feet. And if you saw me, you'd faint, you'd be petrified, mummified, turned into a stone or a pillar of salt.
Damn, he's like dropping bars. Is he like a rapper in his spare time?
Honestly.
Biblical.
Right. So he says some odd things. He also...
Imagine waking up to that, being like, oh, there's the mongoose spitting bars again.
Jeff, what Bible verse are we learning today?
Yeah.
Jeff, his pranks ranged from like amusing and harmless to slightly cruel. He liked to make fun of James. He said that his head looked like an onion, which I love.
What's wrong with onions?
I know you like onions.
That's a personal attack, Kaveh. By the way.
Seriously.
If you didn't know.
I would be so lucky as to be considered as useful as an onion and versatile.
I love an onion.
Me
too.
James
was honored to be an onion. Jeff would spy on Margaret getting ready for bed.
Jeff.
And he would like call out every item of clothing as she took it off.
Nice.
Jeff,
which
narrating it.
Yeah, kind of like an escalator fall.
He's all garter, bustier, wire dress thing. I don't know.
Wire dress thing.
I'm just trying to think of Victorian England clothing. Hoops?
Hoop skirts.
No, this is the 30s.
They're not wearing
like
skirts.
This is Depression era.
I just assume that they're like on some island in the middle of nowhere that like they still are dressing like they would have been like 70 years before.
Now I have to go look that up, but I'll wait.
The Irving's cousins, Harry and Will, would come over and play catch with Jeff through a hole in the attic wall.
Wait, isn't that the names of the princes or Harry and William, right?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's not them.
I don't think. Oh, wow. Someone loves the royals.
They're actually named after the princes now are named after this incident for these guys
cousins.
Going to Mongoose.
Diana was like, I love Jeff.
Honestly, I feel like
friends.
Diana would have been down with all of this. Yeah.
I will say, getting like the British tabloids go with Jeff.
Oh, really?
He gets popular
in the 30s.
Yeah. So we'll get there. That's Harry and Laura are like, oh, he plays catch with us sometimes, but also sometimes he spits on us. So like,
that's not
you
cool.
know.
No, Jeff, come on.
So this is kind of what he would do. The Irvings also said that he would like alert them to the approach of guests, which
like a dog.
Nice. You don't even need a ring.
But also like you live in the middle of nowhere, you probably know guests are coming. Like
that's
true.
True.
You're gonna see them.
Yeah, he would
I'd like
wake
to see
people.
Jehovah's Witnesses driving all the way out there just to be able to talk to these people.
Jeff's like, they're coming. Turn the lights off, duck.
He would wake people when they overslept, which I thought was very nice.
He's like an alarm. He's just a house pet. He's just a dog.
Yeah, Jeff seems kind of endearing to me.
There's nothing about Jeff I hate besides the spitting.
The spitting's not great. In return, the Irvings would leave food out for him. They would leave chocolate and biscuits and bananas.
Okay.
They would put it in a little saucer and like leave it by the attic, and then they would come back and they'd be like, "Oh, the food's gone."
It's gone.
Okay, kids, leave out food for the ghost mongoose.
For the mongoose.
What will he bring us?
More mongoose turds. I don't know.
Turds.
So like I said, this goes for years, and word starts to get out about Jeff. British tabloids start covering the story, and from the get-go, like people are skeptical.
Well,
which is fair, but they're also like intrigued, and people start visiting the farmhouse trying to get a glimpse of Jeff because they're like,
Jeff's going crazy, letting everybody know that there's more people coming to visit.
Jeff is working harder than he's ever worked in his life.
He hasn't slept in days. Wait, what year is this? Early 30s or late 30s?
31,
we're in early 30s, like 31, 32.
Okay.
Is kind of when word starts getting out. And not many people actually got a glimpse of Jeff, but those that did said that he was yellow and had a black spot on his tail.
What? They're like, dude, for real, he's definitely there, I believe.
It's pronounced definitely?
It's definitely. Incredible. Okay, so people are intrigued, and the tabloids are intrigued, and they're like, okay, we think maybe it's the daughter just like doing ventriloquism.
Yeah.
We think that's maybe what's happening. And Vori's like, no, it's not me. I'm 13.
I'm not into this. Wait, she's
not
13.
She's 13 at this point.
Isn't that poltergeist age?
Is it?
That's when poltergeists supposedly show up, because when a girl goes through like gets her period for the first time, it like summons a poltergeist.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's like all the emotions and craziness that comes with it. And anyway,
that's interesting. I will say Jeff was known for like hanging out in her closet. So, you know,
her poltergeist is a dead mongoose from India.
Was Jeff on Epstein Island? What's going on with him hanging out with like a 13-year-old when she's changing? Pervert.
I don't know that he did that to. I hope he didn't do it to Vori. I think he just did it to Margaret.
Listen, I just put that in everyone's brain. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What have you done?
I thought Jeff was wholesome.
What did Jeff do? He's the one.
My pristine mind that is unfazed by anything happening in the world. You just tainted it.
So they start drawing attention from some paranormal investigators because people are like, is this thing real? And we're going to talk about one in particular, but a couple like previous ones come by and they get like footprints from the Irvings of Jeff and like they look at the wall scratchings and they send them to the lab and they're like, this is definitely from a dog. This is definitely from your sheepdog, but okay.
Oh, there's a sheepdog here the whole time?
There's a sheepdog the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What's that? What's the sheepdog's name? Do you know?
I don't know. None of the stories. It's
also Jeff, but it's spelled Jeff. Yeah, exactly.
The correct
Different
way.
spelling.
So our main investigator that we're going to talk about, his name is Nandor Fodor.
No.
Nandor Fodor? Is he a Star Wars character?
He's Hungarian.
He's in the cantina bit. Oh,
this straight up sounds like a George Lucas. Like, I could hear him in the cantina. Nandor. What was his last name?
Fodor.
100%. I guarantee you that's like the name of some Star Wars character.
It has
somewhere.
to be.
Yeah.
What was the first Star Wars? The
Hondo Dunzo.
Hondo Dunzo. That's it.
Hondo Dunzo and Nando what is it?
Fodor.
Nandor Fodor and Hondo Dunzo are literally shooting at each other in the cantina right now.
Yeah. Wait, did you say he's Hungarian? Are all Star Wars names just secretly Hungarian that I didn't know until now? I gotta start looking at Hungarian names. I think that's probably where they're pulling them all
is
from.
Is it Hungarian or Star Wars?
Star Wars. It's both. No,
it's both.
In 1937 is like, I'm gonna go stay with the Irvings for a week because I wanna meet Jeff. I need to see what's up with Jeff.
Also, I'm sure he was like, let's get out of Hungary because right now it's looking real bad for us.
Things aren't looking good. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not clear if he was in Hungary at that point. I know he was born and raised there, but he had time in New York. He had time in other places. So
he's like, who's got great cuisine for me to go on a vacation to is this random English island.
It's the Isle of Man.
You have to say Isle of Man. No, none of this erasure.
So he's like, I'm going to stay with them for a week. And at this point, Nandor was one of the leading authorities on poltergeist and the paranormal.
Oh.
But he's a really interesting dude because he, for a little bit, worked with Sigmund Freud.
Wow.
And so a lot of his outlook on paranormal phenomena is impacted by Freud and by psychology.
Whoa.
So much so that like he starts off embracing paranormal stuff at the beginning of his career. But more towards the 40s, he starts publishing skeptical articles that are like, how is this happening?
Whoa, cool.
So I mentioned that because 1937, that kind of happens towards the end of his sort of like journey through his beliefs.
Right.
And I think this encounter with Jeff like actually maybe has a lot to do with how
it broke him.
I think he's like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
And
this
so
is it for me. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm not doing this shit. I'm joining the empire. I give up.
I can't do it. The hill that he died on basically was that poltergeists are not spirits of the dead, as was commonly believed. Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin it for you.
Life ruined.
But instead, psychic manifestations of a person's subconscious.
Teenage girl.
So he believed people could conjure hauntings with only their thoughts.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah.
So
you can conjure anything with only your thoughts,
right? But like this was a very new idea at the time,
right?
This wasn't. Right. People were like, no, it's a ghost.
It's haunting me.
It's obviously a mongoose.
No, dude, you're haunting yourself, and it's always been that way.
That's true. So in his week with the Irvings, he interviews them a bunch, and kind of that's some of the stuff we learned about like what his quotes were and. Jeff's habits are from those interviews.
Okay.
And Nandor tries really hard to communicate with Jeff, but he never gets any response.
Oh,
which is sad. I think from what I read about Nandor, he wanted to believe. He wanted there to be something else happening.
He wanted to be called an onion head.
Yeah. He wanted it, and Jeff just wouldn't insult him. So as he's leaving, Nandor leaves a goodbye letter for Jeff.
That's nice.
Which I thought was kind of sweet. And he's like, I'm really sorry that we didn't get to connect, basically.
Let's circle back in a couple months.
Meanwhile, the whole entire world is on the brink of another global war. And he's just like, sorry, invisible Mongoose.
Really wish we could have chatted.
Makes sense.
He tells Jeff that he was a very good and generous mongoose. And
okay.
It's just very sweet. I'm like, that's so nice that you said that in a letter. And then he also brought Jeff chocolate and biscuits as a parting gift.
Oh, he gave it back. He gave back.
Yeah.
Are biscuits something else in England? Are they
cookies.
like hot potatoes or something? Right? I don't understand what all these translations are.
Blood pudding.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's Marmite.
It's Marmite. And cookie.
Biscuits are cookies. This is America, last I checked.
Okay, I'm
what
sorry.
kind of cookies are these?
I don't know.
Last I checked, chip cookies?
It's just any kind of cookie. They don't have chocolate chip cookies back then in England. It's an us thing.
Why?
Because we invented chocolate chip cookies.
No wonder we left. America is the best. God, I love chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to eat chocolate chip cookies right now. That's probably why Jeff didn't talk to him, because he's like, what the hell? Like, what is this?
I don't want a biscuit.
Yeah, biscuit. First of all, it's called a cookie. Eat shit.
I wonder.
Number two, there's not even any
biscuits.
chocolate chips in this.
Where are the chocolate chips?
Yeah.
I think the biscuits back then were just like, what, you've had them, the
paper
digestives.
Flavored? Yeah.
Digestives. Digestives are delicious now, but I don't think they were then.
No, they didn't have chocolate.
Now they were supposed to actually help with digestion.
Ew. And they did the opposite.
Oh, this made you hard as a brick and just unable to pass anything?
Yeah. I'm hard as a brick.
So no wonder Jeff didn't take his offering.
Yeah.
He's like, come back with real cookies. Bring back some Mrs. Fields, bitch.
Some of those pink kind that hurt your teeth.
Oh, like the circus cookies.
Yeah, those are so good.
Best. Nandor concludes after leaving that Jeff was not real, but instead an invention from the bored mind of James Irving. Because James seems to be kind of the main conduit for Jeff.
Yeah.
And, James is the one that taught him how to speak English.
Right.
Seems like they have. Yeah. And James dies in 1945.
Oh, no.
And at that point, stories of Jeff also disappear. So, seems pretty likely that Jeff was maybe the driving force behind Jeff.
Jeff
James
is totally sexist and only talks to the man because he's like the manosphere and he doesn't talk to any of the women in the house because he's got problems.
He believes men.
Believable.
Yeah,
he believes
he got
only
radicalized by Andrew Tate, and that's why he only talks to the man of the house.
Good riddance, Jeff. I'm glad you disappeared.
Yeah.
He was also racist. He wouldn't talk to anyone besides like an English, like Northern European
problematic
person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I come out against everything Jeff has done and said.
Here's what we know so far. Racist, potentially was on Epstein Island, also radicalized.
Can't prove he wasn't there.
No, you can't.
Yeah, so Jeff and Voiri, the daughter, maintained that Jeff was real or was not a creation right up until her death in 2005. So she
lived for a while.
She did, and she stuck to it. She was like, no, we didn't make up Jeff.
Whoa.
Jeff was part of our lives.
What?
And then kind of an interesting side note is that after James died, Margaret and Voiri sell the farmhouse at a loss because nobody wants to buy a haunted farmhouse.
Speak for yourself.
I was going to say, isn't that funny how that's so different now? I feel like now that's you charge extra for it.
Yeah.
I would absolutely.
Someone died in here.
Yeah, some YouTuber buys it and this is like, I'm coming to you live from the Jeff haunted house in the middle of nowhere. And then they have a billion subscribers.
Yeah, it would do well.
It would do really well.
The new owner.
Should we hold on? Should we buy it? Is this still for sale right now? Should we go buy this farm?
I don't think we can buy it.
Sign up for the Patreon to help us purchase this gigantic, weird, haunted house that hopefully we could go live in and podcast from.
I bet the acoustics are good.
I bet
That's
they
true.
are. And
There's
no one will bother
around.
us.
Just saying.
Certainly not listeners.
Any Manx listeners out there, write in.
Yeah.
The new owner claims a few years after buying the place that he has shot and killed Jeff.
What? Was it an American who lived there?
No, but great question. I think he did this because he was kind of sick of people always coming to try to see Jeff. And so he kills a random mongoose on a property. And he's like, see, he's dead. Jeff's gone. Stop visiting me.
Everyone's like, you're a lunatic.
Or
now there's two
he just
haunted.
said that so that he can have Jeff to himself.
Oh, yeah. Monopolizing Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jeff wanted to step out of the limelight and live a quiet life.
He was like, I'm sick of these tabloids.
It's a fake death. Yeah, it's staged. It's staged
He
for the
saw
papers.
what happened to Diana. He doesn't want that to happen to him.
Exactly. He's like, I'm not going into any tunnels in the back of a car. You see what the press will do.
Alyssa, I'm sorry that we keep hijacking this to stupid degrees. Sort of.
We're doing, no, this is the show. This is the
You're
show.
right.
Yeah, I'm not sorry. What are you talking about?
I'm not either.
I'm sorry.
I had a moment.
Classic Alyssa, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. So
okay.
that kind of brings us to the end of Jeff, like his story. Was he a hoax? Was he a spirit of a long dead mongoose? It seems like he never actually manifested.
No.
But I do think the story is like, it's super interesting just because like Nandor's conclusion about us being able to like make our own hauntings. I just feel like that's really fascinating. I feel like our brains are really good at coming up with narrative and pattern recognition. And like I've talked with a friend about this before, and it's like, you know what? I believe that you believe that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I believe that James Irving believed in Jeff. I absolutely do.
Yeah, to some extent. And same with his daughter.
Right. At the end of the day, it doesn't super matter if Jeff was real or not. Like, that was, he was part of their lives. And
didn't hurt anyone besides that other mongoose who was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Innocently
was like,
killed for no reason.
Do not come here. 0 out of 5 stars. You will get shot.
The best part about that would be if this were a movie, like who am I? I'm Kaveh. I'm just making up a story now. If this were a movie, the guy would shoot the mongoose and then make another mongoose ghost, and then that one will haunt him, and he has to keep killing mongoose until he's surrounded.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Is that your impression of me? Because that was really good. I was like, that was impressive. I'll agree like that. This is a genuinely good
my
idea.
Impression of you. I went to movie. I went to video.
I went to movie school. Video school, right?
I'm Kaveh. I went to video school.
It's funny that you say this, Alyssa, and I wonder if, because I feel the opposite right now of what you're talking about.
Okay.
And I don't know, what was the island called? The Island of Man. I don't know like how up to date everybody was in the Island of Man and how much they knew about what was going on, because the timing of this is very interesting. But I don't know how you guys feel, but I certainly feel the opposite of that, of like, oh, the horrors of the world persist and there's so much to process on a daily basis and they're so awful that I feel like I've gone internal in terms of like, here's some other insane thing I have to fixate on as a way to cope with how awful it all is, because if I were to try and process any of it, my head will explode and there's nothing that I can do to the extent that I would like to be able to encourage change. So
That's
I wonder
really
if it's
good,
maybe that.
Yeah. I actually really like that as a theory.
Because I feel like that's something I could possibly see myself doing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, or like, you know, watching fascism rise and literally watching Hitler take over country after country, and you're just like, cool, I'm stuck on this island. I may as well make up a mongoose.
Here. Yeah.
I have a dead mongoose. That's all I can focus on.
I can't worry about the Nazis coming to bomb me and murder me. I have to look at this chocolate that I have to get for this mongoose.
Right. I mean, so almost a coping mechanism for that's really interesting.
I mean, that tends to be how I like all the stories I write are the same thing in terms of an imaginary friend. But I wonder if that's part of what it is too.
No, I think that's a great point, especially like you said, the time that it happens. And I don't know, I'd like to look more into James and Margaret and see sort of more about their lives. But Jeff kind of hogs the spotlight on all the articles about them.
Classic Jeff.
Oh, so Jeff.
I would love to dive into like old newspaper articles about that.
But just to round out the tab, to finish it out, I wanted to mention how I stumbled on the tab.
Okay.
Which I was kind of debating whether to start with this or end with it, but I think it's more fun to end with it. In college, one of my friends introduced me to this song called Eighth Wonder by the band Lemon Demon.
Awesome sounding.
The band or the song.
And it's all about Jeff, and the lyrics are all
oh, nice.
All the lyrics are things that he said at some point.
What? That's awesome.
So,
he is dropping bars.
I know. I was like, oh, I can't spoil it, but there's a song. So I would love to show it to you guys. We don't have to. It can be an exclusive if you want. So that's my tab. I
love it.
I hope it was fun.
It was amazing.
It was definitely fun. I really enjoyed it.
I told you it's pronounced definitely.
Definitely. It was definitely a lot of fun. I love hearing a story about a mongoose, especially.
That's the perfect one for this episode because
thank you.
That was a great one.
Yeah, and check out the song. It is really fun.
We put the song. We watched the video on it's on Patreon. I was gonna say, speaking of Patreon, I got some Patreon shout outs to do.
Oh yeah,
heck yeah,
some new people. Yeah, we want to welcome Rebecca. What's up, Rebecca? And Linny. Welcome,
Linny.
All right, thanks for joining.
Insanity, welcome.
Thank you for joining the Patreon, where we post nonsense and fun stuff, and everyone can go do that.
As opposed to our regular podcast, which is
very serious,
professional,
serious. Yeah,
so serious.
Awesome. Thank you again, Alyssa.
Yes, thank you. That was incredible.
Thank you for going on that ride with me.
Thank you for taking us on the ride.
I'm excited to hear what your spooky tabs are.
Who is going to go next?
You should go first, because I just went first like a bunch of times in a row because I was doing all the Astro Play stuff. So you should go.
So I'm also going to be talking about haunted houses.
Yeah.
But not actual haunted houses. The attraction, the haunted attraction, the history of where the haunted house came from.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Heck
going to
the
a haunted
Island of
house.
Man.
It was there. Jeff started it. And I think this was the tab. I had one of the hardest times of my life cutting this down to fit into an episode. I'm going to do my best to get through it without going on tangents, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Not allowed on this show.
We'll help by keeping you on track.
You guys,
certainly.
I won't get distracted at all. I won't fall down any mental escalators while we're talking.
I feel like that would be a good catchphrase for the show, falling down mental escalators. That's a good shirt idea.
Yeah. That and rapid fire nonsense is also my other favorite.
Very good.
So when was the last haunted house you guys went to?
Oh, I know. I went to one last year.
You did?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, of course, Sarah loves that kind of crap. It was like somewhere further in off the 101. It was actually a really annoying experience. I can't remember what it was called. I can ask Sarah. They all are. It was fun because we went with a group of people, like a few of our friends, and we were 4 or 5 of us. And it was very long, too. It was like a very involved one. It was well made, I have to say. Like, the haunted house itself was excellent. But then they're turned into this thing where, like, I think it was like 5 or 6 of us. The important thing is that I was in the middle of the group, and it was like we go from one room to the next. So what ended up happening is that every room we go in, the people who are supposed to jump out and scare you, they'd be like, well, we're not going to scare the first person that comes out. We're not going to scare the people who are the last people. So every single room that we went into, I would get targeted and screamed at, and then I'd be like, ah!
No.
And then to the point where I just was like, awful. This isn't fun anymore. I was like, they're just screaming at me in every room I go to. And then everyone started laughing at me because they thought it was funny that I would scream because I was like, I'm like a child. I'll just be like, I'll give like the big reaction.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm the same way in haunted houses where I'm like, this isn't fun. People are in my face. It smells weird. The smell is the thing for me.
The smell is
like,
bad.
How did she fall down an escalator in the middle of a haunted house? We didn't have one even here before.
She brought her own.
I brought my own escalator. It was a pocket-sized one. It's called stairs. Okay. No, I was in a haunted house once in high school, and I got so scared at one point that do you know when you have you ever gotten so scared that you end up on the ground and you don't remember falling on the ground?
No, I can't say that I do.
Cool.
Is that what happened on the escalator?
No.
Yeah,
yes.
Seriously.
So I remember just being like screaming, and suddenly I was like looking up at the trees above me.
Well, like you fainted.
How did I
you
get
pass
down
out?
here? I don't know. No, I've only passed out once, and it was at a cadaver lab.
Oh, right.
Okay.
You
told us about that, I remember.
It was the penis. Yeah. Go to Patreon. It's on there. You have to find it, though. Woohoo!
Yeah. It's definitely in there somewhere.
It's definitely buried in there. So the last haunted house, I'm glad that you went to one recently, because I haven't been to one recently. I went to one like 8 years ago.
Alyssa, did you go to one recently?
I was going to share. Yes, please.
My, like, the actual haunted house, not like Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, doesn't count.
It will in a minute.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I went when I was like 12, and I went with a friend. She was terrible, and she made me go. It was at a Six Flags.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we went through. I was terrified. She got mad at me for trying to hold on to her hoodie in her hand, and she abandoned me just
Lame.
as. And then this clown came and stood over me, and I started screaming. And then one of the coworkers in the background said, "Oh, I think she likes you." And I was like, "I don't," and I ran away.
That's awful.
Lame.
That's
my
really
haunted.
Awful.
It was horrible.
And you haven't been to one since. It's
no, God no.
So these haunted houses, they're all over the place. They're everywhere. There's 4,000 operating in the U.S. every October. It's a $300 million business. So where'd they come from, right? I had to know.
Yeah.
And as all things, it came from the Middle Ages. That's always where it comes from.
Perfect.
Because that's when everybody was dying of stuff. And so across cultures all over the world in the Middle Ages, people were coming to terms with mass death. And just kind of like the great mortality was what they called the plague. And like watching half of your town die, it's pretty horrifying. And so I think in a lot of ways they were trying to cope with it by making these performances using what was called a magic lantern. And magic lanterns are pretty much camera obscuras, which are the pinhole cameras that you can make yourself, and then you can like project an image on a wall. Have you guys ever done that?
No.
I've never done it myself. I've seen it at like museums and stuff, but
they're wild. I didn't know this was anyway. So they would do these pictures. I'll send you one back in the 1400s of these like demons, and they project them onto these walls, and everyone would just freak out.
It's like movies. It's like watching scary movies, but 600 years ago.
That makes total sense, though. That like during a mass plague, people are like, we need a distraction.
So
it's like the Middle Ages equivalent of A24. Be like, oh, I got that new demon to project on the wall, and everyone's like, holy shit.
Oh man!
So if you can see it. It's this woman or man, like a monk, holding this little magic lantern that has like holes cut into it, and there's an image on the inside
with like a wizard hat on top of it.
Yes, and through those holes, this demon that you can see on the right hand side was projected all around the room, and so that was this like apparatus that they were showing, how to use. And
the demon's got a giant bush. Is that right?
Yeah, dude.
It is long.
Yeah,
that's
a long. You're right. It's a lot. And it's straight.
It's very straight.
It's straight pubes.
It's been blow dried straight with like some sort of
pubes.
Pin straight pubes.
We're just gonna skirt past this. Yeah, I was like, this thing is, dear Lord.
I'm sorry, I'm not objectifying the demon. Sorry, I didn't notice it.
Wow.
I know, but really though, those pubes are absolutely bonkers.
It's like down to the knees almost.
Yeah. What? Yours aren't? Anyway.
I guess when I straighten them, they are, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's why they're so long.
Pubes.
These do look like straightened pubes. It's upsetting. Yeah. So they would do this, and all I want in this world right now is to talk only about magic lanterns. But I can't, and I'm not going to let myself. So I'm putting that on the tab burner.
Okay.
Where I'm going to come back later because I love this whole thing. So magic lanterns were a thing for a few hundred years where they would have these get-togethers where they would project all this stuff on the walls, and people would be like, oh, this is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Because if you think about it, that's insane.
Yeah.
You're just watching a literal demon like fly around. Here's another one more little picture of them doing what they called a phantasmagoria. Phantasmagoria was what the magic lantern shows became. And so it was like this, more of like a high-tech, like special effects version.
This is cool. I would go to one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool,
right?
Fun
as hell. Phantasmagoria to Robertson.
Like a haunted planetarium.
Yes, actually.
Can we do this
exactly
now? This sounds fun as hell. It sounds way better than doom scrolling.
They do have these. So
we should do these in LA. I feel like we've got plenty of people who would be able to put something like this on.
Modern day Phantasmagoria would be absolutely
honestly
amazing.
Awesome. Let's do it next year, guys. 500 Open Tabs sponsored Phantasmagoria in Los Angeles.
Also, the word Phantasmagoria is one of the coolest words I've ever heard.
It is very cool.
Phantasmagoria. Yeah, very good.
And so this leads into the late 1700s. That's when they started doing this. And it was in France that people did this. And you know what was happening in France in the late 1700s. They were beheading.
You could see the naked ladies dance.
You could see the naked ladies dance in all the blood on the streets of Paris because there was literal inches of blood in some places of Paris because of all the beheadings and executions of the upper class. It was not uncommon to go outside and just see blood on the street. Like, all ages would see this. And it's just, that's what was happening. And one of the people who was almost executed was Marie Tussaud, which is...
Madame Tussaud?
Madame Tussaud, wax museum. So
really,
No way.
wow,
yes. So she was about to be executed.
They're like, you're hoarding all the wax for your museum.
1%. You have 1% of the population has all the wax.
Disgusting.
No, so she was adjacent to royalty because she was like a wax sculptor for the royal family. And her and the guy who was teaching her, Philippe Courtius. Courtieu? I don't know French.
It's very polite.
Courtieu. And they would make death masks and like living sculptures. And so when the revolution began, they're like, all of these people, anyone who knows these people, we're taking. And so Marie was like, I'm just a humble wax maker or wax sculptor. And a friend of a friend ended up getting her out of it. They'd already shaved her head. They were going to take her to the gallows. And she got out of it from a friend of a friend. She just
Also, she has a skill here. Let's not this isn't somebody who's like.
This is good for her business. The revolution's really good for her business.
It was excellent for her business because directly after that, they all started hiring her to make death masks of all these dead people.
Good.
And so that's how she got her start. Is that they're like, you don't want to die,
cool.
right? Okay, then make the death masks of all these royals that you used to be friends with. And she was like, yes, sir. And
is this like how the Eyes Wide Shut parties start? Or like those kinds of like Venetian weird masks from the sex parties?
I mean, no, I think that's just Italy for a while. So, Madame, I almost said Curie, but that's the radioactive lady. Madame Tussaud ends up, after the revolution, is like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all these wax masks, like the death masks, and I'm going to make a bunch of these and cover them in blood and have a thing that I call the Chamber of Horrors, where I let all these she goes to London because she's like, the English love insane stuff like this. And I should probably get out of France for a little bit. So she goes there, opens what she calls Tussaud's Chamber of Horrors, where it's each room, you go room to room and see actual lifelike representations of Robespierre and Louis and what's her name? The lady, the queen, Marie
Antoinette.
And they're extremely lifelike because they're from their faces. So everyone's just like, this is insane. Whoa. And we're English and we love a dead French person. We love it. Let's do this. And so they absolutely like lapped it up. They loved it. And so that's how she got her start. She didn't get her start doing like fun waxes. She was wax figurines. She was just like, here's the worst things I've ever seen.
Death mask.
Here. That's amazing.
That's cool as shit. Yeah.
Everyone loved it. So they still have some of them left, which is wild. I couldn't find any pictures of them, though. They're like put in a room.
Dumb.
And then after that, this whole century, the 1800s, was all about spiritualism and being like, we
I was
believe
gonna
in
say
ghosts.
that's what I thought of when you first talked about when you were saying the pinhole whatever camera thing.
Yeah.
I was like, it reminded me of the spiritualist thing. I think that was last year, World War I.
That's
something.
right.
Was that one of my tabs? I don't remember.
Yeah, that was
probably
we're at the point in this podcast where we don't really remember.
Don't remember who talked about what or when it was.
Couldn't tell you. But it was talked about at one point.
It was.
Yes.
So the French in particular loved the horror aspect. They would do these shows
Le horreur. Yeah.
I like to say that.
Let me smoke a cigarette.
So there's this theater in France called the Grand Guignol Theater. And this place in the late 1800s...
Grand Gino Theater. Yeah, I know.
I'm the Grand Gino. They'd actually have onstage depictions of dismemberment and beheadings. And so people would go, because their whole goal was to see how far they could push people. So people would go and like vomit and pass out because
dude, I'm telling you, this is literally like prototypical horror films. That's what this is.
Yes,
it's like the
that's
same
wild.
thing where people go and see horrible, horrific things in a safe
We've
environment.
Never changed.
No.
We've the same. And so it's like the equivalent. It was like the 1800s equivalent of like torrenting a beheading video in 2007.
Yeah.
It was just like, here we go. I want to go watch
Didn't
the
have YouTube
absolute
yet.
worst thing.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
What they could have done with YouTube. So after this, we go into the 1900s. And this is when the very first, what could be considered the world's first haunted house showed up. And this reminds me a little bit of the Dennison Sisters tab that Alyssa did because it was steam powered. It was a
that's
steam-powered
awesome.
haunted house.
Do they have like little guys? Like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, yes.
I'm going to send you a picture of this. And it is not scary, but we're going to
By
go
today's
for
standards.
It's just a bowl of peeled grapes. That's all it was.
Eyeballs.
I love
So that's the
grapes.
house, the ye old cottage, ye haunted cottage.
It's so cute.
It's
it literally
cute.
does look like a children's haunted house that they built in the back yard, like during the month of October, but in a good way, not in a
It's
bad
really cool. I want this in my backyard.
It'd be
Yeah.
cool, yeah. I mean, it's the it's the least scary thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But,
what is with like the limp chimney on the top? I don't understand that. Why is it limp? Do you see it?
No. I do, but I don't know why that is.
It looks like it shot its load like way too early and then just went...
It is a flaccid chimney.
The ghost house.
Flaccid, thank you, that's the word.
Pre-came, and then, okay, we have to move on. We have to.
Okay,
again.
So this haunted cottage,
and that showed up in England in this place called
Haunted Cottage.
Lip Hook, England, by a company called
like
yeah, dude, yeah. Lip Hook, England, it was called the Orton and Spooner Ghost House. It was by a company called Orton and Spooner, and they made a bunch of like steam powered attractions.
Sweet.
So I'm veering away from England. Don't worry, you can calm down. Now
Alyssa,
we're in the early,
relax.
Yeah, I'm indignant.
In the 1900s, people at the time from Ireland were still moving to the United States, and they were bringing a lot of their traditions from Ireland here. Right. And one of the traditions was Halloween. But they never did trick-or-treating there. They would go and do just tricks. There was no candy involved. They would just go play tricks on everybody and
That's fun.
Dunk on their neighbors and unscrew doors and let livestock out. And that was like these harmless pranks. And they brought that to America. And so people in America started just doing these insane pranks. And over the years, they just got crazier and crazier. And people were just outdoing themselves. And then when the Depression happened, everyone was so tense from how bad everything was that Halloween was it was like the purge. It was like the one night a year that teenage boys could absolutely destroy everything. Roaming packs of boys outside just
I've never heard of anything scarier.
I know.
Yeah,
roaming
I was like,
packs
that's the
of
scariest
16-year-old boys.
No, thank you.
Nothing is worse than that.
Absolutely not.
I would rather meet a serial killer than that.
Safer.
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
It's redundant. That's the same thing.
So they do these insane things like there was one story of a kid who pulled a prank by holding up a bunch of other kids with his .22 caliber rifle as like a fun prank, and then he ends up shooting somebody, and the kid survives, but that was like a Halloween prank.
Oh
and
my God.
They got so out of hand that some people weren't so lucky. And so there was this incident of these boys putting rocks on the road, and it resulted in a deadly car crash. And police and firemen were kept out all night answering all these calls. So it would actually divert away from real emergencies. And so it was kind of this massive problem. And no one had money. No one had, anything. And so the answer to that was something called spook houses.
Mm.
And this is what we see. This is the very first time we see what we know as a haunted house in America. So the entire block would chip in and kind of build this spooky little trail through their basements. So you go house to house having different scary experiences. And this is like the spaghetti in the bowl and
the grapes like you were just talking about.
Yeah, with the grape eyeballs.
And
maybe not that then, but that's what it turned into. And so
grapes weren't invented yet. That was
this got grapes were that was like post-atomic.
It's a modern invention. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Grapes are atomic. Yep. Yeah. Oppenheimer, those grapes in your mouth.
Oppenheimer, he made those.
I don't know what.
He invented grapes. Okay,
so the entire block would chip in and kind of have a communal haunted house to get these kids to be distracted from ruining the town, because they were like crashing windows and they were taking doors off. They were killing animals. It was just bad.
Literal serial killer behavior. Yeah, it's great.
Real burning stuff, literal. Jeez. And so it worked. It worked. And these all started in California. And so over time, these spook houses kind of spread and people would give ideas to each other. And they became kind of like this staple on the West Coast of these neighborhoods having a little haunted house trail of terrors or whatever.
That's fun.
And so one description of it is an outside entrance leads to a rendezvous with ghosts and witches in the cellar or attic. Hang old fur, strips of raw liver on the walls, where one feels his way to dark steps. Weird moans and howls come from dark corners. Damp sponges and hair nets hung from the ceiling touch his face. Doorways are blockaded so that guests must crawl through a long, dark tunnel, which we still see today.
Yeah.
At the end, he hears a plaintive meow and sees a black cardboard cat outlined in luminous paint.
Ooh.
Oh, the scariest part.
And there's a mongoose there.
There's mongooses and all mongoose and all these.
They ended on a cat. I feel like that wasn't
They ended on a Halloween cat.
Because everyone loves cats. They're relatable.
I think it was just Hannah. to I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna turn you into Jeff the Mongoose. I'm gonna Jeffify you.
Yes.
The dead kind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mongoose you to death. I don't know what that means. So these spook houses kept kids out of the streets. That did a pretty good job. And then it came along like amusement park rides, like dark houses or dark rides, where you kind of get on a car and you kind of go through like a display of stuff. And that was similar.
Like on a
and
track.
It was like on a track, yeah.
Like you're guided
Coney
through
Island.
it. Yeah.
Yes. Coney Island had one called the Ghost House. And it was just low key, kind of creepy for the time. And it didn't truly spread everywhere until Disney built the famous haunted mansion in Disneyland, and in 1969. And there's this whole crazy story behind the haunted mansion, which I think, Alyssa, you probably know a lot about. I, again, need to not go into this, but it took 20 years to get the approval to build it.
Whoa!
When they first wanted to build it, it was in the time of all those haunted houses around the neighborhoods, because in California, where they were like, this would be great to have a Disneyland, took 20 more years. So I'm not going to get into that. They even used some, like the magic lantern tricks in the Haunted Mansion at the very beginning with the pinhole cameras. It's crazy. It's like 300 years later and they're still doing it. Around the 70s, they start to spread around the nation because everyone's like, the Haunted Mansion's awesome. I want something like that. So the whole nation starts doing these like charity haunted houses hosted by this community called the JCs. And so United States.
Are you just trying to tell us about your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? So this is a long time to convert us.
Don't worry, this is way more boring. Okay, so the JCs are like big Boy Scouts, is what I gathered from it. Where it's called the United States Junior Chamber, and it's like a leadership program for people like 16 to 35 or something, and they teach management skills. And only boys are allowed.
Horribly boring.
It sounds awful. But some famous people were active members of the JCs, such as Elvis, our boy Richard Nixon, and famed serial killer John Wayne Gacy.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Legacy. He was
Imagine the company you get to keep there. Yeah, excellent.
A Mount Rushmore of JCs is in order. Okay, so the JCs were this organization, and they started running these kind of DIY haunted houses. So they'd have these like guides of being like, here's how to start your own haunted house for charity. And they would collect charity money. And that was kind of like where haunted houses were in the 70s and 80s until...
Wait, hold on. How long could you be a member of the DIY? Sorry, not DIY. What are they called again?
The DIY.
JCs.
The JCs.
The JCs. I'm confusing all my letters. How old were you? So like you could be a 40-year-old man and still be part of the JCs?
You could. That's the limit.
So theoretically, Nixon was president at some point, and he was like, he was vice president and he was still a JC. So maybe under Eisenhower, he was still running haunted houses, right? Is this part of
is this
correct?
Houses.
And he's wearing his Pepsi costume.
Yes, he's wearing the Pepsi costume.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm happier than I've been all day.
Oh, welcome to the haunted house where you have to see a bunch of hippies talking about communism.
My bare ass in this Pepsi costume. I forgot about that.
That's not a haunted house. That's the pleasure house, Hannah. That's where they all go yell, kazoinks, because I just saw Richard Nixon's house.
Nobody knows about kazoinks, dude. Only we do. We made up a new catchphrase
podcast
for Kaveh, and it's kazoinks.
Dear Lord, okay. I'm sorry, continue. But there's meat left on the table of like some
puke. Rather die.
Ladies, if you're having trouble finishing, just think of the Richard Nixon Pleasure House.
I like my jowls long and
flapping.
Okay, so while Nixon is vice president and also running haunted houses in a Pepsi costume, John Wayne Gacy is most likely dressing as Pogo the Clown at his own haunted houses that he runs with the JCs. There's no documented evidence, but why wouldn't he? You know?
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
If he's a child predator, of course he's going to be running haunted houses and like picking off kids the whole time.
That's like
easy. It's a slam dunk for John Wayne Gacy.
He already had it set up, and they were like,
pedophile parents.
Exactly.
Do you need a DIY kit? And he's like, I'm good.
I've got rope and handcuffs and boys. Okay, so gross. This isn't a true crime podcast.
Yeah.
So the JCs are running all these houses. Okay. Nixon's not there. Nobody's there. That matters. Okay, Nixon's there. He's naked.
Good. Thank God.
Okay. So in the 70s and 80s, that was what was happening. And they had little guidebooks that they'd send out to different JCs areas so they could like set up their own haunted houses. By the way, the reason my voice is shaking, everybody, is because we just cut out us laughing till we cried. So about some of the most insane things Kave's ever said.
I just had snot come out of my nose because I laughed.
It's just, anyway, so if you guys all want to know why we're crying, let's go to the Patreon. So anyway, so the 70s and 80s. And then in the late 80s, the horror film industry really started taking off. That's when the slasher movies started coming out. Halloween, Friday the 13th, 70s and 80s. And it really lit a fire under the creativity
I can see that.
Of haunted houses, where it's like there's no more, liver hanging from the ceiling or whatever they were doing. And now they have like people in, dressed as Freddy, chasing you through a house. So they begin to get more in depth and detailed and drew a bunch of stuff from popular horror tropes of the time, which is why we see so much like blood and guts now in haunted houses. They set this like standard where it's like, okay, now haunted houses have to be disgusting and terrifying now, not just cute and fun.
Yeah, because prior to that, the John Wayne Gacy one was a little too much Hello Kitty that existed within
so
his
cute.
haunted house.
Dude, imagine Nixon wearing a Hello Kitty, assless Hello Kitty costume.
Oh, in Pearl Harbor of all places, because as I learned, that is where they have Hello Kitty merch. Yes,
Hello Kitty and Pearl Harbor are linked forever in his head.
Yes,
always or just now?
Oh, they actually sell.
Always.
This is true. This is not a joke. They actually sell Hello Kitty merch at Pearl Harbor that says Pearl Harbor on the back of it.
No, they don't.
The Japanese won.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's why I kept saying I couldn't stop laughing. I cannot believe that there's Hello Kitty branded merch. Yep.
Oh my God.
So this whole thing, the whole industry put the JCs out of business. So there's no more JC haunted houses because
of woke.
Because there wasn't enough blood in John Wayne Gacy's haunted house in his basement. So that was kind of when it took a turn for what we actually recognize now. Like there's haunted forests, there's haunted corn mazes, everything's got blood in it. And that's the kind of thing we're seeing now. And now everyone's really pushing it toward this like actually having a traumatic experience kind of haunted house. Like you can sign away consent.
Yeah, the waiver thing is always like creeps me out.
Physically attack you. Chase you, threaten to murder and rape you. Like really, there's some haunted houses that are actually like I would never in my life do, but people sign these waivers, and there's some down in San Diego has a couple that are like nuts.
Also, it's weird that there's still haunted houses despite us like never like any of us being able to own a house. It should be haunted apartments, haunted studios. Haunted, like, 3-bedroom apartment with roommates.
Houses?
No.
Millennials killed the haunted house industry. Thanks,
by
boomers.
not being able to buy a house.
I want a haunted studio apartment that's $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's actually scary. And then there's also this little interesting thing about why all haunted houses look Victorian.
White people?
It's just because...
It's because they love English?
Well, yeah, it's white people. Also, it's because around the time this started becoming popular in the 30s and 40s, those houses were the most dilapidated and lived
that makes sense. Yeah.
Close to death. So that was why, that just kind of became this symbol of like falling apart and old and dying and scary. And then we never really grew out of that. So there's no haunted condos, which would be really
haunted
lame.
Malls. I think
it's just HOAs.
Yeah.
It's just HOAs. They're so white, they're ghosts.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, that's how we ended up where we are with haunted houses. It all started in like the 1400s with a magic lantern. Wow. And that's my tab.
Wow.
I love that. Oh my God.
Me too.
That was very fun.
Yes. Also, we now have the image of Richard Nixon putting together haunted houses because he was part of the JCs.
I love
that Elvis and John Wayne Gacy.
His lore just deepens with every episode. It's very good.
He is a complicated character.
Yeah. Nuance.
Someone in the Discord said that he loved Conan O'Brien. I saw that.
I saw that
really?
clip too.
That's funny.
Yeah. He called it madcap, apparently, is what he said about it specifically, was the word that he used to describe it, which I was like, I want to be described as madcap.
Madcap? Yeah.
We can start calling it that.
Madcap Taherian. Anyway.
Madcap.
But yeah, so that's
awesome.
the tab.
Thank you for that.
Turn.
Thank you for your tab, Hannah. That was wonderful. Okay. So for my tab this week, I decided to go with a bit of childhood lore.
Oh, your childhood lore?
Sort of. Everybody's childhood lore, but lore that I remember from childhood. When I was a youngin' in the 80s, there was a bunch of made-up scary stuff that we were supposed to be afraid of, like welfare queens or a functioning Democratic Party.
No. No, I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, neither of those things existed. It was just meant to make us scared for no reason.
And they never have.
Yeah. And speaking of hoaxes, none was more terrifying in the month of October than razor blades inside of apples. Yeah. You remember that?
Oh, do I remember?
Absolutely.
Of course I remember that.
Yeah.
So every Halloween was like, let's check the candy so I don't eat an AIDS needle. Like, just stuff like that.
That's not even a joke. That was a fear at one point, was like having an AIDS needle like biting into a chocolate bar with that happening.
Reaching your hand into your Halloween bag and getting AIDS from the needle that is in your bag giving you AIDS. Like that was an actual thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you just unlocked something. Oh, I was so afraid of AIDS. like at all times.
Yes. Just going to leave that one hanging. But anyway, so razor blades inside of apples. There's too many obvious jokes to make that I just have to move past it.
But chug on past.
Just chugging on past. But razor blades inside of apples seem more insane now than ever because kids now, they don't even know what fruit is. But like when I was little, bobbing for apples was a game that we played during the fall. But I feel like they don't even do that anymore because of like saliva and COVID and spreading disease and all that stuff. Yeah.
COVID took that away from us.
Put my face in a barrel of apples right now. I would never do that. And I'm gross.
Yeah, it's true. But also, why have kids bob for a bunch of free apples when you can just paywall them behind an orchard and charge an arm and a leg to idiots who will come do the picking for free so they can post them on the Instagram feeds and deceive their friends and family into thinking their marriages aren't falling apart?
Yes. I love a good Kaveh one breath rant.
Yes.
Apples are for apple picking now and to deceive everyone. So, but anyway, I wanted to dig further into what all of this was in the first place and how other urban legends had formed. So today, I'm going to be talking about poisoned candy myths, or as they're more known in academia, Halloween sadism.
Wow. That's a weird way to put it.
Yep. Well, it's about inflicting pain on others during the holiday of Halloween.
Wow.
That makes sense. Okay, it's fascinating. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I want to know. I guess you're going to tell us if it was ever even.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm just going to say that. That's the end of my tab. I'm just letting you know that's the term. Good luck. Figure it out, Hannah. Go do your own research. No. So if you want to know about Halloween sadism, there's one guy that's got the skinny on all of it. And he's the same dude that's referenced in every single article and paper I came across. And his name is Joel Best. And
Joel Best.
Joel Best. Okay. He's a University of Delaware sociology professor and the co-author of a study tracking all reports of contaminated Halloween candy since 1958. And in the 1985 paper, The Razor Blade and the Apple, The Social Construction of Urban Legends, that's seen as like the best resource in regards to data surrounding Halloween sadism, which I believe is a term him and his co-author coined. And it's from 85, but he does have a website and he continues to publish updates on that website about data that he's gathered. I think it's like a couple of years old now where he hasn't actually put it up on there. Also, it's a website that's clearly from like 1996.
I mean, back in the razor blade era of Halloween.
Back in the razor blade era with fear of AIDS candy, as you put out, Hannah. But
sorry I brought AIDS into it.
So in a word, Joel Best basically says, it's kind of a bunch of horse shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what the data says.
All that fear for nothing?
Literally all for nothing, more or less.
Okay. Was there a point to it? Like.
Yep. I'm going to get into all of this.
Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So from 1959 to 1984, they looked at newspapers in various parts of the country for the first 3 days of November to see what kind of shady shit had happened, like right after All Hallows Eve, right? Because in essence, they're not going to be writing about it a month later. They're just going to be like, this happened 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, 1 night ago.
Right.
And in total, this is from that 25-year period, they found 76 alleged incidents of Halloween sadism. And the majority of the cases were not particularly serious, with injuries only accounting for about 20 cases. And of those, only 2 that involved deaths.
So there was a death. Okay.
There was death. This is over 25 years.
Wow.
That is small. I mean, that's a small
Tiny
amount.
Crazy. Yeah.
Millions of kids every year go trick-or-treating.
Exactly. Literally every child pretty much in America, like however many that is. So off the bat, not much to work with. But, and sure, you might think, oh, the data's from 40 years ago. But to me, that's actually as bad as it ever would have gotten. Because back then we smoked cigarettes at 6 and didn't come home till the streetlights came on, and the whole helicopter pylori parent thing wasn't a thing. And now kids
it's actually escalator pylori.
Escalator pylori, exactly. We were much more like everything was flippant, but now kids are so uptight from being overscheduled and controlled that they could use a nice, smooth Camel cigarette to relax. But you can't even advertise cigarettes to kids anymore because of woke. So
not even the candy ones.
Ugh.
Yeah,
they got rid of those. Now they're they're called something else. I think they're just like
candy
those
vape.
things were like eating chalk.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I could go for some candy cigarettes right now.
Just take the edge off.
Sounds so good. Oh, that was so fun to just sit there, because it was always like cold on Halloween in Utah, and so we would pretend to smoke with
fake
like
smoking,
because
the air would come out 100%.
I was like, I'm an adult. I'm 16. That's what I want to be.
Exactly.
Anyway,
but that's the thought too, is that like, of course, it would have been worse then than it is now. Like, there's no way that anyone would be doing like anything at this point. But a shocking 31 of the 76 incidents occurred between 1969 to 1971. Right? That's a very brief 3-year period. So,
what? Okay.
Yeah, actually, let me send you guys, I think I have a picture of the chart that you can see. This is the most recent one that's from his website, so you can see how little there are every year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, what happened in the late 60s? Lead poisoning happened in the late 60s.
I'll get to it. I have answers for all of it. I mean, I don't. Woo! Best has all the answers for it, so I'm just reporting on what he said.
Okay.
But from 1972 on, that's when newspapers began publishing more articles about the potential dangers of poisoned candy, along with lists of safety tips for parents to inspect their children's candy. So, like you said, what gives? First, we need to address the actual deaths. So I know, Hannah, you get upset about deaths, but there's only a couple that I'm going to address. Like I
think I've heard about these ones.
You probably have. So first case was from Detroit, Michigan in 1970, when 5-year-old Kevin Toston died 4 days into a coma that was later found to be caused by an overdose of heroin.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awful.
But subsequently, so they said the theory is that he had heroin in the Halloween candy, which is what overdosed and killed him.
Yeah.
However, after further investigation, it was revealed that the heroin had not come from a random person, but it had come from Kevin's uncle, who had a not so secretly hidden stash.
Oh, okay. Uncles.
Wrong time of year to find your uncle's stash.
I think he just thought he's 5, so he probably thought it was like candy.
Also, he's eating candy. Yeah.
Right.
He's eating. Well, no, not only that. It's basically the way that they figured this out was like the amount of heroin that he died of the overdose. They were like, this is kind of like the amount that you would find in a heroin pill. It's not just like someone sprinkled it onto a piece of candy. So
I see. Okay.
Poor kid.
I couldn't find super. So I saw this quoted once or twice, but I couldn't find the source of it. So I'm going to say this with a grain of salt because I'm not sure if this is exactly what happened. But the theory seems to be that Kevin's parents were like obviously devastated and horrified. And then they were also further embarrassed and terrified and horrified that it was their uncle that had heroin that the kid found. And so the theory goes that they were like, oh, we're going to get arrested for negligence. So the theory is that they sprinkled it on some candy and showed it to the cops as a way to like put them off the trail.
I get it. Okay. I get that. All right.
Yeah.
That's the least.
Makes
perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
completely understandable. And also your kid just died. So it's not like you're like sitting around being like, ooh, how do I, it's like,
right.
I don't blame them for any
What
of
are you
this.
supposed to do? I would like 100% like, how do I make this easier on everybody?
Yeah.
Like an honest mistake.
Oh man.
So,
anyway.
That's death number 1. The second death involved 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien in Pasadena, Texas, who...
I'm happy that both these kids are the same ages as my kids right now. But
yeah, it's perfect, right? It makes it much more relaxing to listen to.
So 8-year-old, sorry, go on.
Timothy O'Brien died after eating Halloween candy contaminated with cyanide in 1974. This was the pixie stick thing, Hannah, that you were mentioning, which...
Oh, that's right.
Investigators eventually figured out that his father, Ronald Clark O'Brien, had poisoned his son shortly after taking out a life insurance policy on his kid.
Oh, so
cool.
It wasn't even from the person who gave them the pixie sticks.
Okay.
Exactly.
It was the dad.
It was the dad. Well, I think the dad gave him the pixie sticks.
Oh, got it. So it wasn't even a trick or treat.
Yeah, it's listen, it's disgusting, and I'm sorry to bring true crime, like death, kid stuff into this, but the important thing to take away from this is that neither of these cases had anything to do with like a rando in the neighborhood giving out poison candy to try and kill kids. It was both, or actually not both. One of them was a tragic, horrible accident. The other one was like a premeditated murder by the father for financial gain. But that's not what it felt like to the people reading those stories. All they heard was candy, cyanide, or heroin, bad, and then they start freaking out. But even if you did want to pin this on like the media, like perpetuating it and making the story worse and writing about it, the facts don't actually just line up, because 76 supposed instances over the course of like 25 years is, like we said earlier, it's basically like nothing. It's nothing. And furthermore, they're only writing like a tiny little blurb, maybe a day or two after Halloween, like almost like footnotes of like 1 or 2 sentences. It's not like some John Benet Ramsey shit where they're like writing about it for like months and then like putting the photograph of like the kids and years even like on the front page over and over and over again. It's basically like, it's not really like that covered. And basically, you know, just like the theory of vaccines causing autism, this bullshit lie is kind of spread by a bunch of dumbass parents is basically what this is. I'm sorry to say.
Fear-mongering, well, not fear-mongering, but terrified for putting their fear in the wrong place, parents.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
When I was a kid in Halloween, every year I would go to one house because they would give out the big bottles of Tylenol, and I would just down the entire thing.
And now look at you. You're
now look at me. I host a podcast.
Deep in a podcast.
If that's not proof, I mean.
If that level of obsession is not proof of your Tylenol addiction as a kid.
So... But like you said,
pictured you opening your Halloween treat bag. It's just Tylenol.
Like, my dad's coming over and I'm like, Dad, don't eat all my Tylenol. And he's like, whatever, I'll eat what I want.
Do you want to trade some for Advil?
Yeah.
I got Advil.
Oh, no, Dad, Advil sucks. I hate Advil.
The pure stuff.
It's got almonds in it. It's disgusting.
Okay. Go on.
So kind of, Alyssa, kind of to your question is like, why were the parents so suspicious at that time? What was going on?
Yeah.
So it's important to think what's going on in America as the 60s came to a close. And, you know, it's our boy. We keep talking about it. And I'm like, I'm kind of joking, but I'm kind of not, honestly. But like, Nixon kind of has a part to play here in terms of the state of the country and the state. Like,
in terms
this
of
guy's
the
most
60s.
In terms of the 60s. And this guy's also, don't forget, he's like probably the most paranoid, insane head of state that's like ever existed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right? And like, rot starts at the top and it trickles its way down. Like it's sort
trickle
of
down rotonomics.
Exactly.
See, that's one I could get behind.
And don't forget, his whole campaign, it was like, it's the silent majority. And like, we're tired of like all these crazy leftist hippie communists doing drugs and Manson and the Democratic National Convention and not supporting Vietnam and the civil rights movement. It's like it's basically like fear everyone and everything because everyone's trying to destroy everything. And like the silent majority thing is like everyone's so afraid of speaking up that that's what I represent. This is Nixon's campaign. It's like, that's what I represent. So it kind of
sounds familiar.
Right. Exactly. And so part of this is that fact that people already felt like they weren't able to speak up because they were suspicious of everything anyway. So it seems like the theory is that that's what would have led to the rise in people freaking out about like a total hoax because you don't know what's happening. And, you know, they're like, what happened to the America we grew up in that pushed black people to the back of the bus and the supposed horrors of World War II with rampant alcoholism. You could just put Japanese people into concentration camps. Has everyone lost their mind? You don't know who you could trust anymore. Communists could be putting AIDS into your bubblegum cigarettes. Like, you know, who knows? You can't trust them. Certainly not the CIA drugging innocent civilians with LSD in an effort to make them sleeper assassins. Trust the government, y'all, but not your neighbor next door.
Not your
Trust
neighbor.
the government.
Gosh, no.
Trust the government.
Oh,
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
You put it that way. That's
dark.
It's dark.
Yeah.
That's dark.
That's what I'm here for.
Aw.
That's all happening at the same time, by the way. Let's not forget. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also, isn't the Satanic Panic ramping up, or are you going to get to that?
Satanic Panic happens in the 80s, I believe. It's like when it reaches full.
I was alive for it.
Yeah.
I forgot. In the 90s, it was there.
But and I'll get to it. So there is an incident in the 80s that it's not the Satanic Panic. Funny enough, 1982 is the Tylenol murders.
Oh, you're right.
Oh.
Dude, unsolved, by the way.
Yep.
To this day. By the way, I had a whole conversation with a British person when I lived there because all their medicine comes in little bags that's just stapled shut. And I was like, what's with this? Aren't you scared of... And they're like, what do you mean? And like, no one here poisons your Tylenol? But like, that's why we have pill bottles that are impossible to open and that we seal all of them up before we buy them. But over there, they're just like, here's a paper bag full of pills.
Paper bag. Slip it into your meal. Alyssa, are you familiar with the Tylenol murders?
Not super familiar. I mean, I've heard them referenced, but I don't know the intimate details, I guess.
Yeah,
Hannah, it's your time to shine.
No, it's just that they're in Chicago. It was Chicago,
No, I'm saying
right?
let them know. Yeah, it was like around the Chicago area.
A bunch of people started like dying, like just across the board, different like age groups and whatever, started dying of what looked like was it a heart attack? I can't remember, but they started piecing it together that all of them had bought Tylenol from this one store, from this one shipment, and so they did this whole Tylenol did well. They were like, "Hey guys, throw all of your Tylenol away." All of it. Like just
they
get rid of
pulled
all
everything
of it.
off the shelf too.
They pulled everything off
That's
the
wild.
shelf.
That's really crazy.
Which is something I feel like would never happen today.
Yeah, no.
But
They'd
Tylenol,
be like, they had pre-existing conditions. That's why.
That's why they died of our medicine. No, so
exactly.
they figured out that someone had opened up each of all these pills. They don't really know how he did it. They don't know if it was like in store or in the fact. They don't know. But he opened them up and put cyanide in them.
Whoa.
And so the reason they figured that out was because one lady... I'm telling this terribly. One lady who was helping investigate was one of those, because only some people can smell cyanide.
Okay.
And she was one person who could smell it, and it smells like almonds.
Oh,
and so
wow.
she was
Weird.
like, this smells like almonds. I know what that means, so let's get these tested, because they were like, well, maybe it's Tylenol's fault. Maybe it's the, a faulty thing. So it wasn't. Someone did it on purpose, and we, to this day, don't know who it is.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And that's why our pill bottles look like that, and why they have seals.
Okay.
Anyway,
makes sense. Thank you.
Crime Corner.
Yeah, there you go. This all happens in like between September and October of 82.
Oh, okay. Good
So
timing.
naturally, right? All of a sudden, that's going to be like, holy shit! Like that's going to. Which again, to me, this is one that's like understandable, right?
Yeah,
to an extent, to have people freaking out because it's Tylenol.
Yeah.
It's not just candy. It's like this is the thing that's supposed to be given to your kids to make them feel better. It's not like candy, which is like giving them diabetes or whatever. It's like crazy.
Right.
So the
long-term
all-time
killing
high.
them.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe if you look at 82, the cases spiked to 12, according to the incidence of Halloween sadism.
The reported cases.
The reported cases, which is basically the second highest behind 1971, which was 14. So both times, the spikes in Halloween sadism, alleged Halloween sadism happen after some sort of tragic death or some sort of crazy incident like the Tylenol murders.
Wow. Okay.
That ends up being the correlation.
Statistics and data, when it gets into this kind of thing, it's fascinating to me because it's like people's reactions to one thing can completely skew how everything is,
Yep. And so, Best goes on to explain a couple different theories as to why he thinks it continues to happen. Right. So that's sort of the data portion of it. And so I pulled up a couple quotes of what he talked about in the paper and like in different interviews and stuff. And also he pulls a quote from another paper that's by Kirchhoff and Back, The Junebug and Hysterical Contagion, and says, instead of simply having a feeling that something is awry, the belief in a tangible threat makes it possible to explain and justifies one's sense of discomfort instead of anxiety. One experiences fear, and it is then possible to act in some meaningful way with respect to this tangible threat rather than just feeling frustrated and anxious. Kind of to the point, Alyssa, of your tab that we were talking about, which is like you feel no control over the world. So suddenly by being able to obsess about it's like that's a problem that you can actually try to fix.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Obsessing over your kid's safety, which is what we're seeing again now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
By the way,
this feeling of control.
Yeah, it's apparently, according to the stuff that he was reading, he said after 9/11, there was like a huge report of there was like allegedly a bunch of people very afraid that was going to happen, and like more reports. Actually, let me look at the data. I forget what it said.
9/11 was going to happen again?
No, like 2000.
That's when like the anthrax stuff was happening, right?
Oh,
so
anthrax.
I'm sure people were like on red alert for that, and
yeah.
Although on the chart itself, it just says 2001 is one, but I think maybe he was saying that, I forget, again, so many tabs open, I forget what he specifically mentioned, but he said there was a spike of like alleged reports, but maybe they were just sort of seen as bullshit and that like they didn't get followed up on. Or the cops were, I don't know, too busy trying to like save some high school in the middle of Wisconsin, because that's where terrorists definitely wanted to attack.
Well, there was a bunch of boys there making things explode.
Yeah. Homegrown terrorism is the real problem. Let's remember here, folks.
Guys, the highest death tolls were by white supremacists in this nation. Look it up. Yeah. And they continue to be so.
Let's see. There's another thing in here I thought was interesting. Folklorists view Halloween as among the least commercialized of modern holidays. It was Grider and Santino.
Really?
But this informality has been labeled dangerous by those who warn against Halloween status. Children are urged to refuse homemade treats and accept only coupons or mass-produced candy with intact wrappings, as though commercialism offers protection, which I thought was like a fun little way of thinking.
That's a good way to frame it. Yeah.
I don't like that.
No.
I remember the lady next door was like this 80-year-old woman who made the best donuts ever. Mm-hmm. And I remember the year where she was like, everyone's not eating my donuts anymore. And so she stopped making them. That's
really sad.
So sad. I was like, those are my favorite donuts. Anyway, no more.
Yeah. So here's the thing too, is like I kept, out of all the things that I was reading about, I was like, where does the razor blade and the apple thing? I'm like, that's not really like a... So as far as I could find, apparently, what's her name? Ann Landers, the lady that wrote the whatever article, letters, like letters to the editor, Dear Ann. Or
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It is Ann Landers, right?
One of them.
I think she allegedly wrote something at some point in the 90s, which might have had something to do with this. But there, as far as I know, there was not a specific like incident of people getting like razor blades in their apples. So it's kind of weird also, like I said at the beginning of the tab, it's like apples weren't even like a huge thing for us growing up in terms of trick-or-treating. I think that was like a more old-timey thing, because that's when people were like not giving out like proper candy in that way. So it was easier to just
giving out
apples.
Fruit.
Yeah. Or like, it's the fall, you have a shit ton of apples because that's the season for whatever.
Right. For apples.
But for apples and for Instagram fraud.
And for razor blades.
Like your marriage isn't falling apart. Yeah. And for razor blades. Yeah. Famously in bloom in October. What am I going to do with all these razor blades?
Season.
Yeah.
We have an influx of razor blades from the harvest. We're going to have
cook
to
them
eat
into cider. I love razor blade cider at the end of a long walk.
I actually like the candied razor blades.
Oh my gosh.
On a stick.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
You can't. Nothing makes my mouth water with blood as much as candied razor blades. Save me from what I'm saying.
Anyway, so he's the best. You can look at his website. You can see different interviews where he talks about it. But basically, it's kind of this, like I said, just to summarize it again, it's like a paranoia. It's a fear of like protecting your kids. It coincides generally when these spikes happen with like some tragic thing that's happened, that particularly when it has to do with kids. And it's people just sort of, Alyssa, kind of what you were talking about with anthrax and all that. It's like, I don't have control over something, but I'm going to take control over my kids' candy. And I didn't realize that X-raying candy was a thing. Sarah said this to me, that like apparently when she was a kid, that was an option that you could have. I'm like, I didn't ever have that.
That's fancy.
As an option. Yeah. Or I think like the local
where do you
police
go
department.
To get it X-rayed?
I think I don't know if it's like the police department or something. And at one point they interviewed some cop and he's like, I didn't realize that was a thing. Like that people were worried about getting like razor blades in their apples. He's like, it was just a service that I'd like to offer as a way for people to be more
to like
safe.
Chill out.
Okay.
But again, to me, it's chicken and egg thing too, right? Where it's like, you're exacerbating a problem that literally it's statistic, or not even statistic, empirically you can show is not a thing. It doesn't exist. So anyway, when you guys get candy this Halloween after this drops, feel free to just
all you kids,
just gorge it. There's no,
just go for it.
As many as you can eat at once. Don't worry about eat the wrapper. Yeah.
Yeah. Even better. It protects the razor blade. It protects your stomach lining.
That's where all the nutrients are in the wrappers of the candy. Yeah. It's where all the vitamin C is.
Whoa.
Dang.
Vitamin C's in the wrapper. Dude, I didn't realize that it was like that much not a thing.
Yeah. Because like to that degree.
Aggressively not a thing.
Almost the opposite of a thing.
But anyway, that's my tab on fake poison candy Halloween sadism.
Amazing.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. That actually makes me feel better about a lot of things. In general, that like most people are pretty good people for the most part.
It's also like I should say this before I move on. A lot of the instances that they did read about, they're lies, right? It's like some kid being like, "Oh, there's ant poison on my chocolate bar," and then like they found it, and they're like, "Well, the ant poison's on the side that you didn't take a bite out of, so clearly you're just doing this for attention." There's this theory too. It's like kids are like, "It's all like people are just playing pranks and doing crazy shit." So a lot of stuff is just fake, or they want attention, right? It's that kind of crap. And
it's the new roaming the streets, tipping cars over.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be cool if I had a poison candy and like the press came to my house because I did this? Yeah. And so a lot of it's refuted.
Freak everyone
Which is
out.
not to say there's no instances of anything ever happening.
Sure.
But
yeah.
It's real low. And then the last thing I was going to say is that the idea that somebody who had wanted to like hurt people and kill kids and all that, the idea that they'd only be like, well, I'm only going to do it on Halloween by putting it into candy and then not bother for the other 364 days.
Right.
They're like, that's also not consistent.
Of just walking into Walmart and buying a gun.
Right. We're
not setting up your own DIY
here.
Haunted house in your basement.
They're not taking a break. They're working year round, so it doesn't. None of it really adds up.
It doesn't make sense.
Anyway,
cool.
That's my tab.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I was going to say I forgot to credit the article I used, so I'm going to say that now, just so I don't forget. It's from history.com, and it's The Great Depression Origins of the Halloween Haunted Houses by Becky Little.
Becky Little.
Little Becky.
Little Becky. I bet she loves that.
My show notes are to Joel Best's website, which is just joelbest.net/Halloween sadism.
I like him. I like that.
And
thank you guys. That was
how do you guys want
fun
to
episode.
It was super fun.
Well, we're not done yet.
Whatever.
We still got always trying to like erase our listener emails. How are we going to close them? I think should it be a mongoose getting shot?
Alyssa, how about you choose? Because you're the one that has to look for these sounds.
Yeah, it's that. It's just it's
Kaveh
being
a sounds. Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. A mongoose. I don't know what sounds they make.
We're gonna find out.
Anyway,
all right. You guys ready?
Alyssa,
I'm ready.
Down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Close.
Nice. I'm leaving a bunch open for later. Yeah, because this podcast has taught me nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to listener emails. Yeah. Alyssa, you get to read today's or one of the listener emails first.
Yeah. All right. This email comes from Rebecca from Nashville.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Kaveh, Hannah, and Alyssa. I'm Rebecca from Nashville, and this is my second time writing, with my first tab being the study about training horses to pick out their jackets. That was featured all the way back in episode 13. I loved that one.
Whoa. Yeah, me too.
It was good.
This one is not about horses, and instead is about textile arts. I felt compelled to tell you this story after going to my local art museum to see their current quilt exhibit, and seeing my reaction to one of the quilts, my husband goes, "Oh no, is this because of that podcast again?" Which
I like how we're the bane of every spouse's existence.
I love it.
Incredible.
So many spouses are like, these guys again? Shout out to the spouses listening.
I was going to say, okay, sorry. It's Rebecca from Nashville. We need to find out what Rebecca's husband's name is and then put that quote on a shirt.
Heck
oh
yeah.
no, is this about that?
Because of Rebecca, let us know if we can put that as one of our advertisements.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like a blurb.
Yeah.
The blurb is like, oh no, is it because of that podcast
again? Amazing.
So good.
Sorry.
Okay. Quilting has always been a political art form since the availability of certain materials and dyes was heavily determined by class. But some quilts are more overt in their political display than others. The quilt that stopped me dead in my tracks was made in 1979 and features, you guessed it, recurring character on the pod, Mr. Dickie Nixie himself.
Oh, making his 80th appearance on this episode. Jesus Christ.
How we didn't even need this to bring up Richard Nixon.
No, this wasn't planned.
That's how often we bring, this quilt is
Whoa,
incredible.
this is awesome.
Whoa.
So
what's got FDR?
This is called Nixon's Resignation.
I love this.
The quilt
is really
features,
cool.
Isn't it amazing?
It
yeah,
looks like,
it's incredible.
What's his name? The guy that drew the shapes.
Like all of the founding fathers are crying on the
They're
quilt.
all weeping.
Yeah,
is that just his head? Is
that him in the bottom?
Head? I can't tell. I think that might be him.
He's definitely got the weird
he's
nose.
smiling.
It says Nick's next to it. That's him.
Yeah. So like Uncle Sam is crying.
This is amazing.
Amazing.
It's really cool.
The quilt features former presidents and other American symbols like Uncle Sam and a bald eagle crying as little Dickie rolls away off the edge of the quilt in shame.
Just his head, by the way, as if he just went through like the French Revolution.
Oh, no. He's at the very bottom corner.
Just his head. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. The quilt was designed by Ed Larson and quilted by...
Ed Larson? Not that Ed Larson.
No, different Ed Larson.
Quilted by Franz Soika and is one of many of Larson's political commentary quilts critiquing different presidential administrations, all the way up to the Obama era.
Oh.
If you want to see this gem in all its glory in person, as well as tons of other incredible quilts spanning 300 years of American history, it's part of the traveling Fabric of the Nation exhibit, but has a permanent home at the Museum of Fine Art in Boston. Keep it Josie, Rebecca.
Oh, that's awesome.
Amazing.
It was a really fun one.
That's a beautiful quilt, and I like
really
Headless
is.
Nixon.
Yeah.
Me too.
It feels good. Feels right.
It's excellent.
Amazing. Let's move on so that we don't go over. Our next email. Hannah, you want to read this one?
Sure. It's from Sophie from Los Angeles. Hi, nerds.
Yeah.
I like that. Gather round the Gwen Stefani tribute toilet, and I shall tell you the tale of the Biglaw biter.
I'm here.
First, Sophie, 10 out of 10 so far.
10 out of 10
Just
introduction.
perfect.
Yeah. Just grab the reader right away.
Yeah. Hey, idiots. Hey, nerds. First, a bit of background on Biglaw. You may remember a few of these firms from their immediate bending of the knee to the current administration. Biglaw encompasses huge white shoe law firms that in this year of our Nikola Jokic 2025 are offering first-year associates a starting salary of $225,000 in exchange for their souls and willingness to live. Needless to say, these jobs are highly coveted and primarily go to the folks at T14 law schools. Your Harvards, Yales, Stanfords, University of American Samoa Law. Never heard of that before.
Never
Big
heard of
law
American
firms.
I've heard of that one.
Big law firms do most of their entry-level recruitment by hiring law students through their summer associate program. Getting into a summer associate program is the hardest part. Once in, you are all but guaranteed a full-time return offer, barring some egregious misconduct or the 2008 recession. Being no offered is extremely rare. See, e.g., the legendary Aqua Girl, who got a return offer even after getting drunk at a firm event, stripping down to her underwear, and jumping into and then being rescued from the Hudson River.
That's just orientation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want her to represent me in court.
That sounds like a fun person to work with, honestly, more than like Bob.
Yeah, true. I trust that
who,
person.
Like, doesn't do anything.
Because you know what? She can do that, and then she can come to work and handle everything.
Yeah.
That's how I know.
Absolutely.
This past July, a summer associate was fired before her internship even ended. Sidley Austin is one of the top-ranked big law firms, boasting notable alumni such as the Obamas, ever heard of them? And also some sicko named J.D. Vance. I like all the terminology in this.
This is fantastic,
some sicko.
Disgusting.
Anyway, Sidley fired one of its 2025 summer associates for, you guessed it, biting people at work. There is a photo.
They're hiring 6-year-olds? Like, what is this?
If she
it's
wanted
a law
to,
firm of children lawyers?
Right. You don't will biting. Well, if you want to stay hired, you got to do it naked in the Hudson River. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Bite people there. There is a photo circulating of a bruise allegedly sustained in an encounter with the so-called Biglaw biter. It's rumored that her teeth have acquainted themselves with a double-digit number of fellow interns, full-time attorney associates, and someone from Sidley HR. An unnamed insider has attempted to set the record straight by clarifying that only 5 people have actually been bitten.
Oh, okay.
All things considered, this girl
Negligible.
seems to be a nice... This girl seems to be a nice and otherwise pleasant person. The general consensus is that her biting was driven not by an intent to harm, but rather by the impish and whimsical lack of impulse control reminiscent of Tumblr user culture circa 2011.
Yeah, you guys,
Hope that you enjoy.
Biglaw sadism is also fabricated. That's what Joel Best said.
Hope you enjoyed this bit of industry tea. All the best, Sophie. I did. And Sophie,
that was wonderful.
Your presentation was excellent.
Fantastic. Thank you. If you also have a listener email that you'd like to submit to us, please go ahead and send it to 500opentabs@gmail.com. That's 500. We also accept voice memos, which we love to hear your voice, and all kinds of fun. We've had some fun ones recently too, actually.
Yeah.
You really get a real sense of who these people are that listen to this show.
The personalities.
The 3 or 4 people, yeah. The rest, I assume, are just AI-generated bots.
AI could never do what we do.
No, that's true. They never could. They can never do it this poorly.
They could do it better. You can also follow us at 500 Open Tabs on Instagram and Blue Sky and on YouTube. Please subscribe on YouTube. We're almost to 1,000. If we could get some more, that'd be great. And then we could make tens of cents.
Tens of cents. Please sign up for the Patreon too. I think this episode has gone very long, so we're probably going to have a good chunk of it that's going to have to go onto Patreon. Apologies in advance, Alyssa. However,
she's okay with it.
Alyssa.
She's okay with it? Good.
Yeah, she's fine.
We're going to thank you once again. It was wonderful to have you on the show. I feel like it's over. We went over because we didn't realize how quickly it was going to go when you're on the show. It always feels a lot more whole when you're here. So thank you for taking the time to put together a nice tab and laughing with us. And for, in advance, doing some fun sound effects and putting this slop episode of shows that we put together and make it out so that people's spouses can all be annoyed by us.
It's my
or
one goal in life.
In the case of my spouse.
Yeah. No, thank you guys for having me. I had a blast. This was so fun.
Thank you for everything you do, dude. And go follow Alyssa.
Yeah.
She's also an artist.
I am. I haven't posted in a while, but
whatever, it doesn't matter.
Steamboat Lissy on Instagram.
Steamboat Lissy.
Mostly where I post. So
awesome.
And then you guys are Hannah Hillam.
Oh, Hannah Hillam.
Whatever.
And he's perma-friends.
I'll do it. On Instagram. Yeah. And in the meantime, Alyssa, we will see you at the Dickie Nixie Soviet pool party in the sky. Mm-hmm. Where will you see us?
I'm going to see you at the DIY Nixon haunted house.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I'd like to change my answer.
Yeah. Okay. We're all going to see each other at the DIY Nixon haunted house.
Amazing.
DIY JC.
Run by the JCs.
Yeah. Run by Jesus Christ himself. Who's going to be taking your money.
There.
He's there.
He and Nixon, 1-2 punch. They run a great team. Yeah, it wouldn't be us if we didn't sign off awkwardly. All right?
It's got to be
now, put the music in. We're gonna just go. The music's gonna start going.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.